We're the French family, Kent, Michelle, and Everly. We left our fast-paced careers in broadcasting and entertainment to travel the globe, world school our daughter, and live life to the fullest. Come with us as we share stories of Frenchitivity, which includes the 3 pillars of possibility, creativity, and tranquility.
In this episode, we explore the South Island of New Zealand, from glaciers and fjords to the people who make this land unforgettable. This is the Frenchitivity Family World Tour from the South Island of New Zealand.
Kent, Michelle, and Everly spreading Frenchitivity all over the world. This entire family creating possibilities all over the world. Frenchitivity, Frenchitivity, all over the world.
Welcome everyone to the Frenchitivity Family World Tour. Kent, Michelle, and our 8-year-old daughter Everly is somewhere around here, and we, of course, are a family of 3, and we decided to take a leap of faith to lead a more fulfilling life.
Yes, we stepped away from careers in broadcasting and entertainment, rented out our house, decided to world school our daughter, and headed out for a 10-month adventure around the world.
Yeah, and what we found were sights, sounds, and people that were truly inspiring, and we decided to tell their stories.
One of the places that stole our heart was the South Island of New Zealand. Its beauty and expansiveness was incredible, and we spent over 2 weeks there, and we can't wait to bring you some of the stories, sights, and sounds.
Yeah, so our first adventure is, I think, a bucket list for both of us. We had a chance to swim with dusky dolphins in their natural habitat.
We traveled to the beautiful seaside city of Kaikoura and paid a visit to encounter Kaikoura, where our guide Harry took us for a swim of a lifetime.
Let's go, team, go!
You're not feeding them, they're not trained. This is in their natural habitat. These are wild dolphins.
Yeah.
How in the world do they come, or do you find them to do this on a daily basis?
Yeah, we're just, I think, really just lucky, to be honest. Like, lucky that we're in the area, that we're around this specific species of dolphin. Other places of the world, they've tried swimming with dolphins in other species. I just don't think it's quite as good as it is with this species. They're just, their nature, like, they're really social dolphins. And they just really love people, dolphins, boats. So we're just super lucky that we have this just right out there, and then that just creates this amazing experience for anyone that comes along. And everyone's sort of pretty much blown away. And the first time I ever saw it, I was absolutely blown away as well.
I'm still like, I'm cloud 9, and I was out there with my daughter, and of course Michelle, who's filming this right now. But up to 3 tours a day. And what's your success rate when you go out there?
Oh, it's hard to put an exact number on it, but from my experience, I've done about 350 odd tours. There's 3 times that I've not seen dolphins. That's so incredible. About 1%. But obviously that I haven't worked all winter as well, but still, very lucky that we're so we have this a very good system that we go out as a search pattern together. And we just follow along the coastline, and luckily the dolphins are very predictable, so we're super lucky that we're able to do this.
For more insights from Harry and information about our incredible adventure, please check out the Frenchitivity YouTube channel.
Now, as we take our first time out, we wanted to introduce you to one of Everly's favorite places in New Zealand. It is the Margaret May Playground, named after New Zealand's famous children's author.
The playground opened in December of 2015 and was part of the city's recovery plan after the 2011 Christchurch earthquake. It's the largest playground in the Southern Hemisphere, sitting on almost 2.5 acres in the middle of Christchurch.
Coming up next, we visit a lavender farm to experience all the benefits this wonder plant has to offer.
The wonder plant. I love that.
The Frenchitivity YouTube channel will have you screaming.
No!
Kent, Michelle, and Everly make up the Frenchitivity family, who packed up their lives to travel the world in an effort to live life to the fullest. Greece, Thailand, Croatia, Indonesia, and New Zealand are just a few of the countries they experienced along the way. Now they want you to join the journey. Subscribe to the Frenchitivity YouTube channel to see the world with Kent, Michelle, and Everly, one adventure at a time.
One question. When are we going to post this?
There were many firsts on this adventure, and seeing a glacier was one of them. We had never seen a glacier until we paid a visit to New Zealand. This is the Tasman Glacier, located right next to Mount Cook. It is still New Zealand's longest glacier, despite shrinking considerably from the 1990s onwards. It is as much as 2.5 miles wide, 14.5 miles long, and 2,000 feet thick. That is thick ice.
Welcome back to the Frenchitivity Family World Tour. And yes, we'd never seen a glacier until our visit to the South Island of New Zealand. And the same goes for a lavender farm.
While in Kaikoura, we learned about a lavender farm and had to pay a visit. What we found was peace, tranquility, and lavender ice cream.
Maida, who bought Lavender Farm back in 2015, shared with us all the benefits lavender has to offer.
What is your favorite use of lavender? I know your culinary exploration has been amazing, but what's your favorite use of lavender?
My favourite use outside cooking is when I burn myself. Because if you burn yourself, especially when you're cooking, if you put lavender oil on it straight away, you may need to do it 2 or 3 times. Every time the burn hurts, put a bit more on. You won't even notice you had a burn. You don't get a blister, you're not even left with a mark.
Nature's gift.
It is nature's gift. And because it takes away so much pain.
And it has so many other, it smells delightful. You come into the shop, everything smells incredible. There are lotions, oils, things to help you sleep. Lavender.
Lavender, it'll help you sleep, it relaxes you, it helps with skin complaints. We have customers who buy our products because it helps with their psoriasis, it saves them using the pharmaceuticals. If you get insect bites and stings, it acts as an insect repellent. Toenail fungus, athlete's foot. There's a whole range of things that lavender can help with.
And the ice cream was incredible.
Good.
I loved it. I had a cappuccino lavender.
Lavender Farm sits on over 6.5 acres and offers over 50 different types of lavender. To hear more from Maida, to find out why it's called Lavender Farms, and to hear what's in store for her property in the near future, visit the Frenchitivity YouTube channel.
It's time for us to step away from the program for just a moment, but before we do, we want to show you another breathtaking sight. On a rainy afternoon, we decided to explore Mount Cook. We started down the Hooker Valley track where we encountered the Lower Hooker Suspension Bridge. No more than 20 people are allowed on the structure at once while the Hooker River rushes underneath your feet. I can still feel the rush of energy.
Coming up after the break, we jump on a boat and take an unforgettable trip into the Milford Sound.
Hey everyone, I'm Michelle from the Frenchitivity family. Our family has traveled the world over this last year, and the comment that we get most often is, how did you pack? Which I'll be happy to share. But the other question that we've been getting a lot lately is, how did you do it? How did you get your family ready to travel? What was that experience like? How did you make it a reality? So I've been thinking that we'd like to share some of those tips with you, and I'd really like to see if we could get some founding members together. We'll be forming it together live. Just send me a DM if it sounds interesting to you, because I've got some ideas. On a night in Queenstown, we discovered the Queenstown Luge at the top of Bob's Peak, 1,476 feet above the city. The views are incredible as you overlook Lake Wakatipu and Queenstown, but the thrill is even better.
There wasn't much instruction other than get in and hold on. Once you've conquered the course, which is almost 1 mile of bank corners, tunnels, and dips, it's time to hop on a chairlift and go again. Even Everly couldn't get enough. Don't forget to use that brake! Welcome back to the Frenchitivity Family World Tour. The coastlines of the South Island of New Zealand rival some of the most spectacular in the world, and the Milford Sound adds to that in a big way.
We jumped on a boat that was expertly navigated and commentated by Captain Craig, who pointed out all of the historical sites with a little bit of Milford Sound humor mixed in. He began the tour by explaining that the sound is actually not a sound after all.
Yeah, no, it's not a sound at all. The early settlers got it completely, well, the early navigators and surveys and everything, they got it completely wrong. It's actually a fjord. It's a very big difference. The sound is just an ancient river valley that has very slowly backfilled with the ever-increasing or rising sea levels, whereas a fjord is carved out by glaciers.
What are some of the things that we saw as we went around the sound today? Waterfalls, I know that, right?
Yeah, so we saw the two permanent waterfalls that are fed by glaciers. Sterling Falls being 151 meters, 3 times the height of Niagara Falls.
I love that stat. That's incredible, yeah.
Well, people don't actually realize it, but when you look at it, it has a thing called visual dwarfing, because the mountains are so high and so big.
Okay.
You look at it and go, it's not actually that high, but then you see a little boat next to it and you go, oh, well, that's a 30-meter boat, and yeah, definitely, it's quite big. We had Bowen Falls, named after Lady Bowen, the wife of George Bowen, our 5th Governor General here in New Zealand. Sinbad Gully, where was the last place they discovered the kakapo, the big flightless parrot.
Yes.
What else do we see? Mitre Peak, one of the tallest mountains in the world that rises directly out of the ocean.
Beautiful. A little bit of everything. Got some seals as well.
Seals. Unfortunately, we didn't see dolphins on this cruise. The one before, we had them swimming around the bow of the boat.
Oh, my goodness. We did see a kayaker who you gave cookies to.
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
Every day.
Oh, I absolutely love that. The humor, how is it a requirement to be captain? Because you had some pretty good jokes on this.
Oh, you know, everybody has their own thing, but I like to try and make it as personal as possible. So try and interact with guests and have a laugh and everything, because I think a lot of times in this day and age, you get onto these tours where everyone has a pre-recorded or a pre-meditated commentary that is just something that they just have in their head and they just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and you sit there and you sort of zone out. And I hate it when people zone out. I like people to listen to me, so you've got to try and keep it as funny as possible.
You keep us engaged, but the one jokes I didn't appreciate were the tunnel jokes. That's a gnarly tunnel on the way in, and we got to drive it on the way out.
You'll be all right. It survived a few earthquakes.
For our full tour of the Milford Sound, please check out the Frenchitivity YouTube channel. Now, New Zealand isn't only full of beautiful sights during the day, although those are marvelous. The night sky has a lot to offer, and as many of you know, one of my favorite things is stargazing. So we found a place in New Zealand where the night sky is in all its glory because lights aren't even permitted.
That brings us to the Dark Sky Project. Founded in 2004, it has grown from a modest start to now hosting over 40,000 visitors each year on a range of exclusive stargazing experiences. We met at the headquarters where we were shuttled to a telescope bunker and then educated by astrologers about the constellations that fill the night sky.
The area was awarded Dark Sky Reserve status in June of 2012 and today remains the largest dark sky reserve in the world.
After the break, we turn off the lights again, but this time in search of the infamous glowworms. The Frenchitivity YouTube channel will have you screaming.
No!
Kent, Michelle, and Everly make up the Frenchitivity family who packed up their lives to travel the world in an effort to live life to the fullest. Greece, Thailand, Croatia, Indonesia, and New Zealand are just a few of the countries they experienced along the way. Now they want you to join the journey. Subscribe to the Frenchitivity YouTube channel to see the world with Kent, Michelle, and Everly, one adventure at a time.
One question. When are we going to post this?
While on the South Island of New Zealand, enjoying the outdoors and the beauty it has to offer, especially with friends, is a must.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to meet up with the Gilberts, a travel family we met in Thailand for a hike along the Wai Creek Trail. The trek is just under 2.5 miles round trip and offered spectacular views of Queenstown and the waterfalls that dotted the hillside with an elevation of over 1,000 feet.
Welcome back to the Frenchitivity Family World Tour. Now, the South Island of New Zealand was just as beautiful on the inside as she was on the outside. What do we mean by that? We're going to the caves.
Yes, we are.
The Glowworm caves, to be exact.
We started in the town of Twizel, then took a short boat ride across Lake Tianu, the second largest in New Zealand. Upon arriving at the Glowworm Caves, we were escorted by guides through the dark caverns, oftentimes ducking down low to avoid the stalactites. The glowworms lined the cave walls and shined a fluorescent green in the pitch black.
Once our tour was complete, we tracked down a guide named Keegan for more education on the caverns. But during our conversation, we discovered that what Keegan did prior to coming to work that day was just as interesting as the glowworms themselves.
Could you please tell us what you're telling some of these other people about these caves and what you did earlier today?
Of course.
Yeah.
So this is called the Aurora Cave System.
Okay.
We are all the way down here right now, and this is 6.7 kilometers of full cave. So this part of the cave is 12,000 years old, so it is very young for a cave. So that's why you got to bend down quite low, and then we'll get on the boats and go all the way to the grotto. Now the part that we can't go in is all the way through here. Now earlier today, I went all the way to the Aurora entrance. Now this part is so big you can fit a commercial sized plane in there. It's absolutely giant, and we walked and crawled and got hurt all the way down to Picasso's gallery. Now through that there's waterfalls, there's beautiful stalactites and stalagmites that some of you guys might know about. There's coal mines, there's Hall of Silence, and it's just a beautiful area that shows the true New Zealand.
Am I seeing something that says the entire cave itself, or the portion that you were in, is 30 to 35 million years old? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And the portion of the cave that my family and I earlier today did a tour of the glowworms.
Yes.
That is 12,000 years old, which you mentioned,
Yes.
which is relatively young.
Very, very
correct?
young for a cave. Very young.
Now, so we just went here, turned around, and came back here
Yep,
today,
so we
right?
went all the way through here to the Glowworm Grotto. That's where all those glowworms were. They were really close to your face. Then we came back out and we walked the exact same way.
Unbelievable. Now,
Yes.
you mentioned to me part of the guides here at Real New Zealand. You're one of the youngest to ever do this, right?
Yes. Yep, so we have to get permits to come up here, so it's very illegal to go in the Murchison Mountains because of our beautiful taka hybrids, which is sort of like a blue chicken if you look like it. But you've got to actually walk all the way through here, through that Takahe Valley, up to the Aurora entrance, which only about 30 to 40 people a year max are allowed to do. And I'm very lucky I was allowed to go with a beautiful bunch of people. We walked all the way up and went all the way down.
For more on Keegan and our glowworm tour, please check out the Frenchitivity YouTube channel. Well, that brings us to the end of sharing our love for the South Island of New Zealand with you.
Yes, and the people and places that we met and paid a visit to will have a lasting impression on the lives of our family. And a big thank you to all those who trusted us to tell their story.
As we say goodbye for now, please enjoy some of the footage as we drove through the countryside, seeing cows, sheep, even deer. We can't wait to see you again from somewhere else around the world.
Hi, you reached Kent, Michelle, and Everly French. We're unavailable right now, but please leave your name and number at the tone, and we'll get back to you real soon from somewhere around the world.
Kent, Michelle, and Everly spreading Frenchitivity all over the world. This entire family creating possibilities all over the world. Frenchitivity, Frenchitivity, all over the world. Frenchitivity, possibilities all over the world. Come on, take a ride, take a look inside this world of mystery. It's Frenchitivity, 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 all over the world. Frenchitivity, possibilities all over